Well, obviously, a really, really physical game tonight. Your team comes through it, and you get a spot in the postseason. I know postseason's still a few weeks away, but nice to be in and have that spot solidified.
Yeah, I mean, I always look at just the game today, and yeah, we were lucky today. We just had a really good first minute, and scored at the right time there in the second period, and kind of hold on to that. But overall, it was not a good game from us. Hopefully it's just a one game, uh, but we definitely take the win and the points.
What does it do for the rest of the trip, at least getting these 2 points in the first game for a 3 game road trip?
Yeah, no, it's for me as a coach, I try to find the right way to go into the postseason, and it's only 7 games left, and the way we play today, I just didn't like it, and again, you just can't turn it on. For example, last year, right, we had a really good run on the end. It kind of carries us over, and that's what I believe in. So we better, figure things out and try to play our game to go into the postseason.
I do have some good news for you, though. Last year, you mentioned last year, the same week, you beat San Jose in this building to clinch a playoff spot by a 3-2 score, and you stood in the same spot and said you guys didn't play well and you didn't like your game, and you were able to figure it out in the last 5-6 games and get going. So I guess there's still some time, but it's kind of crazy how that worked out 2 years in a row.
Thanks, Chef. Now I feel better. No, it's funny, but no. Again, it's they play better than us today. We did just made a lot of mistakes today. What we usually don't do, and I don't know why. We had a few days in between. I thought the guys practiced really good the other day, and we got all rested today, and it's just a lot of mental mistakes, and the detail was not there. So usually, I think we play better on not on the road, but in Calgary too. So hopefully we can grab on our identity and play our way, the way we need to play.
Obviously, it's a team effort game, but was there any guy that you did think took care of the little details consistently tonight?
I mean, Cobbs, first of all, he kept us in the whole game. He made some really good saves, and poor guy, so he was definitely our number one star. But for me, right away, it was Gordon. I think he was really good today. Him and Andre Lee, we put him out there all the time. I feel like so those two guys and maybe some other guys too, but it was just not enough. We had a handful of guys today, and we can't win. You can't win maybe today, but we can win in the long run.
When we talked to Joe Hicketts just before, and he also mentioned guys trying to buy in and make those plays in front of the net. Obviously, Copley had a lot of traffic there all night, but at the end of the game, when you guys needed it, you were able to get a couple key block shots and keep him away from the net.
Yeah, but again, it's why do we end up at that spot all the time? The whole night felt like I was looking at one way the whole night. So, there's a lot of mistakes we made. Leading towards those D zone times, and again, guys are willing, guys are working. I know they care. I just want them to play. They can be right. They can play, and that's why maybe sometimes I'm so frustrated about those kind of games, and because um, they just let themselves go, and I want them to push them to the next level, right? So if they don't do that, then I'm not gonna make it. So a lot of kids have to figure out and have to learn from those kind of games too.
At the start of the game, though, you scored 2 goals in the first minute. I mean, what did you see from your team there? It's obviously something that's a tough thing to do to get a start like that. What did you guys see from early on?
Probably the worst start ever, because then after that, those 2 goals, we thought it's gonna be an easy night, and we had the 2-0 too, and that was not pretty either. And all of a sudden, we didn't do the little things right. I knew we were in trouble. Um, so yeah, it felt good for a minute or two, but other than that, this is probably not the start we wanted, because we just yeah, lost our identity because we wanted probably too much.
We do have a practice day in Calgary, so you can get one more day on the ice to work before the weekend. What are some of the messaging you feel like you need to have to get guys refocused for that series?
Yeah, no, it's I think everything got to come down, and myself too, and we're gonna look at some video, but we know exactly what we need to do against Calgary, and sometimes it's they're very straightforward, right? Sometimes we play better against those kind of teams, and because we have to play with a little bit more structure than maybe some other teams. And again, we're gonna analyze today. We're gonna move on, have a good practice in Calgary, and hopefully for another few points we can steal from their building.